Hi, my name is John Gossier, and this is another episode of Goss Talk TV. Right now I'm in Moscow, but on the way here, I actually had this crazy experience where I had a layover because my visa wasn't valid for Russia, and so I had to spend a day in Austria, in Vienna. And so while there, I took some shots and wanted to share those, which you can check out at the end of this episode. And I share these shots of where I'm traveling to for a couple of reasons. One, hopefully it inspires you about traveling. It's something that I love and something that I feel Americans should do more. But second, hopefully it inspires you about business and the places that you can go and the things that you can sort of see and do when you, become moderately successful. So check out some shots of the city, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hi, it's John Gossier. Welcome to another episode of Goss Talk TV, where I talk about some observations about running a startup, doing business in the tech community, and just really thinking through some of the issues that entrepreneurs think. Today I wanted to talk about shameless self-promotion. So ways that you can get yourself in front of people who you either want to become customers, or you want to invest, or you just generally want to be aware of your service or product. So one of the things that it helps to do when thinking about promotion is first and foremost, think of it like this. If you don't do it, no one else will. If you aren't the person out there advocating for whatever it is you do, whatever it is you're making, and whatever it is you want to see happen, just strongly consider that no one else is going to do it. Doesn't mean that they won't, and it doesn't even mean that you're going to be the best person at promoting yourself, but if you aren't willing to take the risk, then nobody else is. So for instance, if there's conferences that are relevant to whatever it is you do, feel free to reach out to those organizers and make the case for why you should be a speaker. Never assume that you don't have the experience or you're not good enough or whatever. Just reach out. And if they are interested in what it is you do, then they'll get in touch, and you might end up on that stage, and then worry about whether you're good enough or whatever. One of the first public speaking gigs I had was at I'm not even going to be shy about it. It was at TED. TED is this global conference for big entrepreneurs and people from all over the world to come share ideas, big ideas from scientists, heads of state. Al Gore gave one of the most popular TED Talks ever about climate change. And my first talk was on the TED stage, and I by no means was prepared for it. I completely underestimated it. But the fact of the matter is, if I hadn't gone and done it when I wasn't prepared, there's no way that I'd have the motivation, the awareness, the experience to become a better speaker in the future. Certainly from that point on, even though that talk was a disaster, I started to take public speaking a bit more seriously. The other thing is, don't psych yourself out. Don't ever convince yourself that you aren't good enough to begin with. I've learned that there's essentially two types of people in the world. Those who are brilliant public speakers, who love it, who thrive in it, and who have always sort of been ready, and those who aren't, but who do it anyway. And all public speakers fall into one of two categories. Either they love it, or they're just like, oh my God, I can't wait till I get off the stage. Now, I'm still part of the group that doesn't exactly love it, but I do love it much. I am beginning to appreciate it much more than when I first started out. The reasons why one might want to speak publicly about what they do are immense. It helps raise awareness. It makes you a better communicator. It makes you think about your ideas in a more succinct and logical manner, because you can't just get on stage and ramble I should say, you can only get on stage and ramble for so many times before people start to call you out on it. So it helps to have a very linear thought process. So don't be afraid of doing these things. Don't be afraid of approaching speakers. Don't be afraid of standing on a stage and passionately proclaiming what you believe in. Because at the end of the day, there's people who do this for a living even, and that's one thing I didn't talk about. You can make pretty good money talking about whatever it is you do. But there's people who do this who have nothing to say, and regardless of whether they're making a point or whether they're just massaging their own ego, they're still on the stage and they're still influencing the people who aren't. And if you have something that you're passionate about, even if you don't feel you're good at speaking to audiences, it's worth getting on that stage, taking the risk, and making the case for whatever it is that you are passionate and energized about. And so finally, if you do want to become a better public speaker, I highly recommend joining your local chapter of Toastmasters. Toastmasters is essentially like a dinners club for public speakers, people who want to challenge each other, share ideas, and listen to each other talk to help each other practice. Essentially, each class has a lesson or a topic that you're assigned, and then you prepare a speech around that topic. And for the next meeting, you arrive and you deliver your speech in front of a room full of people who critique you, who share advice, who give you feedback, and who ultimately try to help you improve your skills, your oration skills. So it's a great way to practice, and it's really helped me a lot. One of the other things to do, obviously, is to practice. So do it in front of people as much as possible, whether you have something to prepare for or not. Just getting ready for just the act of doing it will help you over time. You can now find Goss Talk on wave45.tv.